Hello, welcome to my channel, Leah Decodes. There are questions she hopes you never ask, not because they're dangerous, but because they reveal the version of you she could fall for. And the moment you ask them with confidence, her entire perception of you shifts. Most men think attraction is built through looks, money, timing, or some perfect combination of charm and luck. But the truth is simpler, sharper, and far more powerful. Women fall for the man who makes them feel understood without trying to impress them. And the fastest way to do that is through the questions you ask. Because questions aren't just words, they are psychological keys. Every question either opens a door in her mind or locks it. It's why some men stay stuck in the he's nice category, while others ignite instant emotional sparks without even touching her. Women don't fall for a man's answers. They fall for the way he guides a conversation, the way he listens, the way he makes her reveal pieces of herself she didn't even know she was hiding. And here's the secret most men never hear. A woman becomes attracted when a man leads her into a version of herself she likes more. Ask the right questions and she starts associating you with safety, excitement, curiosity, and emotional awakening. Ask the wrong questions and you disappear from her radar forever. Now, before I reveal the first life-shifting question, you need to understand something important. Women don't respond to questions logically. They respond emotionally, subconsciously, and symbolically. When you ask her something meaningful, she doesn't just think about your words. She evaluates the man behind them. Is he confident? Is he observant? Is he present? Is he a leader? Is he someone she can respect? Your question becomes a mirror that reflects your entire identity. And here's the part most men never realize. When a woman feels that a man truly sees her, her attraction grows instantly, often faster than physical chemistry. Because women are constantly dealing with surface-level conversations from men who want something from them, but a man who makes her feel safe enough to open up, a man who makes her think, a man who makes her pause, breathe, and actually feel something inside her chest. That man is rare, and rarity is magnetic. These 6 questions I'm about to give you aren't tricks. They're emotional triggers, psychological shortcuts into deeper connection, signals that you are operating at a higher level than the average man she meets. But before we go deeper, I want you to imagine this scenario. You ask her a question. She looks at you longer than usual. She smiles, not because she's being polite, but because something inside her softens. She leans in, her voice lowers, her guard drops, her energy toward you shifts from, "Who is he?" to, "I want to know him." That's what the right question does. The moment she connects to you emotionally, she starts evaluating you differently. Not as a stranger, not as an option, but as the man who understands her without her needing to explain herself. Attraction doesn't start when she likes you. Attraction starts when she feels like you get her. And these 6 questions, they're the doorway. The first question is simple, but it disarms her in a way almost nothing else can. You look at her, not with tension, not with pressure, but with curiosity. And you ask, what part of your life are you most proud of right now? Most men ask women about work, hobbies, food, or childhood memories. Harmless questions, but emotionally empty. This question does something different. It shifts her attention inward towards something meaningful, something personal, something she rarely gets to share. Because whether she admits it or not, every woman is carrying a quiet desire to be recognized. Not for her looks, not for her job, not for the mask she shows the world, but for the part of her life that actually matters to her. When you ask her what she's proud of, you're doing 2 things at once. First, you're giving her permission to feel good about herself. Second, you're showing her that you value substance, not surface. Women are not used to that. Most men try to impress. You're doing the opposite. You're inviting her to feel something positive while standing in your presence. And when a woman feels good around you, she begins to crave you without even realizing why. The second question deepens the connection and reveals whether she's emotionally aligned with you. What's something you've outgrown that you're never going back to? This question is powerful because it forces her to reflect on evolution, growth, boundaries, strength. It makes her talk about who she used to be and who she refuses to be again. And when she shares that with you, she's not just talking about her past. She's revealing her standards, her values, her emotional maturity. And here's the psychological shift this triggers. When a woman talks about her growth around you, her mind automatically links you to a higher level of connection. She feels like she can speak to you differently, more honestly, more openly, more vulnerably. And the hidden benefit, you get to see how self-aware she is without asking anything invasive. You learn what shaped her, what she escaped, what she overcame. You learn whether she's healed or still bleeding. The third question ignites attraction because it taps into the part of a woman's heart that responds to vision and leadership. If everything in your life went right for the next 3 years, where would you be? Women love a man who makes them imagine a future, not a future with him, but a future with possibilities. When she starts visualizing the life she wants, she's doing something incredibly powerful. She's revealing her hope, her desires, her internal compass. And here's where men misunderstand female psychology. A woman is drawn to a man who understands her dreams, not a man who begs to be part of them. This question makes you stand out because it shows strategic thinking, emotional maturity, and depth. She begins to think he's not just living day to day. He thinks ahead. He thinks deeper. And if you listen, really listen, not just with your ears, but with your presence, she feels it. She feels seen, supported, understood. Attraction begins where emotional understanding lives. The fourth question is one that instantly separates you from every man she's ever spoken to. It's subtle, but it hits her in the deepest part of her emotional world. You look at her calmly and ask, "What's something you wish people understood about you?" This question triggers something powerful, something men rarely give women: permission to be misunderstood out loud. Because every woman, no matter how confident she looks, carries a hidden ache, a quiet frustration, a feeling that the world gets only pieces of her, but never the whole. Her family misunderstands her, her friends misunderstand her, sometimes even she misunderstands herself. But when you ask this question, you become the one person inviting her to show the part of her that the world keeps missing. And that's where emotional intimacy begins. Not with compliments, not with flirting, not with games, but with curiosity about her inner life. And here's the psychological truth. When a woman explains something she wishes people saw in her, she automatically becomes more emotionally open with the person who asked. She feels relief. She feels connection. She feels like she can breathe near you. And when a woman can breathe around you, she can bond with you. The fifth question is magnetic because it reveals desire without asking anything sexual, pushy, or needy. It shows presence, awareness, and masculine confidence. You ask, "What makes you feel most alive?" This question shifts her emotional frequency. It makes her light up. It wakes up the side of her that is passionate, expressive, and fully present. Because deep down, women don't fall for men who just understand their problems. They fall for men who awaken their fire. When she tells you what makes her feel alive, adventure, connection, creativity, ambition, you learn what energizes her soul. And here's the deeper layer. When she shares passion with you, she starts associating you with that energy. Your presence becomes tied to excitement, to possibility, to emotional intensity. And women don't walk away from men who make them feel alive. They lean in, they linger, they remember. But the sixth question, this one is different. It's bold, it's fearless. It's the question that makes her see you as a man she could respect, trust, and connect with on a level she rarely finds. You ask her, "What do you value most in the people you allow into your life?" This question does something men almost never do. It makes her confront her own standards. Not what she tolerates, not what she puts up with, but what she truly values. As she answers, she's not just describing her standards, she's measuring you against them subconsciously, automatically, inevitably. If she values honesty, she'll start noticing your honesty. If she values emotional safety, she'll start feeling safe with you. If she values ambition, she'll start seeing your ambition. If she values depth, she'll feel your depth. This question makes her see you as a man who is not afraid of accountability, self-respect, or emotional clarity. And that alone places you far above the average man she meets. Because here's the truth: women are not impressed by perfection. Women are impressed by presence, by intention, by emotional intelligence, by a man who asks questions that reveal he sees the world, and women with depth. These 6 questions don't create attraction by forcing it. They reveal the version of you she can be attracted to, the man she secretly hopes to meet but rarely does. There's something most men never understand about these 6 questions. They think the power is in the words. But the real power is in how you hold yourself while asking them. A woman isn't just listening to your voice, she's feeling your presence. She's reading your energy. She's watching the way you pause, the way you make eye contact, the calmness in your tone, the confidence in your silence. Because here's the truth most men never hear. Attraction isn't built by talking. It's built by how you make her feel when you're not talking, when you ask a question and then let her answer without interrupting. When you allow her thoughts to unfold naturally, she feels something incredibly rare, emotional space. And emotional space is the birthplace of feminine openness. Women open where they feel safe. They open where they feel guided. They open where the masculine presence is steady, not shaky, certain, not insecure. Most men rush conversations out of fear of silence, fear of rejection, fear of losing the moment. But silence isn't loss. Silence is depth. Silence is where she leans in. Silence is where connection grows. When you ask her what she's proud of and you give her space, she feels respected. When you ask her what she's outgrown and you don't judge, she feels understood. When you ask her where she wants to be in 3 years and you actually listen, she feels safe. And safety is the root of attraction. Now let's talk about the hidden layer most men completely miss: calibrated curiosity. Calibrated curiosity means you're not interrogating her, you're not prying. You're not trying to dig into her soul like a therapist. No, you're asking questions with intention and emotional awareness. You're reading her energy. You're sensing where she's comfortable. You're guiding the conversation like a man who understands emotional rhythm. Women respond to rhythm, not pressure, not force, not desperation. When your curiosity feels natural, grounded, relaxed, unhurried, she starts to trust you. And trust is where the deeper parts of her open, not because she has to, but because she wants to. And here's the psychological shift that happens inside her mind. She stops evaluating you as a stranger. She stops guarding herself. She stops performing. Instead, she begins revealing the version of herself she hides from most people. She speaks differently. She sits differently. Her voice softens. Her eyes warm up. Her attention focuses fully on you. This is what emotional leadership looks like. The ability to guide her into vulnerability without her feeling exposed. You become the man she can relax around, the man she can trust with her emotions, the man she feels drawn to without understanding why. But there's something else, something deeper. A woman doesn't just fall for the man who asks good questions. She falls for the man who asks good questions because he's genuinely interested. Not because he wants an outcome, not because he wants validation, not because he wants to get her. Women can sense intention instantly. If your curiosity is real, she feels it. If your curiosity is fake, she feels that too. And when your presence, tone, and intention align, these 6 questions become more than conversation starters. They become emotional anchors. She remembers how she felt when she answered them. She remembers how attentive you were. She remembers the calmness you created in her. A woman may forget your jokes, your compliments, even your appearance. But she never forgets how you made her feel in the moment she revealed herself. When you truly understand the power of these 6 questions, you begin to realize something that almost no man ever sees. Women don't fall for men because they're perfect. They fall for men who make them feel emotionally awakened. A woman can meet 1,000 guys in her lifetime, but the man she remembers is the one who made her feel something she didn't expect. And these questions do exactly that. They create an emotional shift she can't ignore. Because when you ask her what she's proud of, you show her that her accomplishments matter. When you ask her what she's outgrown, you show her you understand healing. When you ask her where she wants to be in 3 years, you show her you think with vision, not impulse. When you ask her what she wishes people understood about her, you show her you see beyond the surface. When you ask what makes her feel alive, you ignite her passion. And when you ask what she values in the people she lets into her life, you make her evaluate you with new eyes. But the most powerful part of all this is not the answers she gives. It's the emotional imprint these questions leave behind. After the conversation ends, after she walks away, after the messages slow down or the night ends, something stays with her. A feeling, a curiosity, a warmth, a pull. She starts thinking about you when she's alone. She replays the way you listened. She remembers how calm you were. She remembers how safe it felt to tell you the truth. She remembers the spark inside her chest when she opened up. Women don't fall for men based on logic. They fall based on emotional contrast, the difference between how the world makes them feel and how you make them feel. And the truth is, most men never create that contrast. They're predictable, surface level, nervous, loud, trying too hard, or not trying at all. But you operate differently. You ask questions that make her think, that make her reflect, that make her feel understood in ways she's not used to. And anything a woman feels deeply, she remembers deeply. This is how attraction forms without force, without games, without manipulation, without pretending to be someone you're not. Because when you show up as a grounded, curious, emotionally aware man, you unlock the version of a woman she rarely reveals. And that version bonds quickly, intensely, and honestly. But let me give you the most important truth of all. A woman cannot open emotionally for a man whose presence feels unstable. She cannot trust a man who is inconsistent. She cannot respect a man who is disconnected from himself. These questions are tools, but you are the foundation. You are the frame. You are the energy that makes her feel safe enough to answer them in the first place. So ask them with intention. Ask them with patience. Ask them with confidence that does not shake when she looks into your eyes. Ask them without needing a certain answer. Ask them because you want to understand, not because you want to impress. Because the moment she realizes your curiosity is real, not rehearsed, your presence becomes unforgettable. And the men who become unforgettable, they don't chase, they attract. They don't force connection, they inspire it. They don't try to win women. Women choose them. So ask these questions. Hold her answers gently and watch how attraction grows in the quiet places, the subtle moments, the spaces where the average man never knows how to stand.